Hello my friends, this is Chin Hong here. To paint watercolor wet in wet, it is very helpful if we could keep the paper wet for a long time. So today I want to try out this approach, which is to wet the paper entirely on both sides and see how it works. And I call this the double wet in wet technique. And I will paint a pomegranate. Let's give it a try. So here is a cotton paper, and this is Fabriano paper. And let's see which side. I'm actually not sure, but that's okay. I'm going to actually suppose this is the back side, and I'm going to wet it entirely with just clear water. Just bring some water. Just spread the paper, the water. So hopefully, once this one side is wet, this paper can stay wet even longer. Okay, so we bring this way and wet it again on this side. So this way the paper should stay wet a lot longer when we do our wet in wet technique. I don't normally paint this way, but I want to give it a try and see if we like it better. Alright, I think that's good enough. Let's get started. I'm going to start with yellow because I feel there is a beautiful glow coming out of the fruit, the pomegranate. It's a long name. It's a little hard to say. So here is the glow. And there's a highlight. So we're going to try to retrieve the highlight by tapping clear, now it's no longer clear, but some clean tissue, some paper towel. And then I want to come in with some orange color. Now already with less water on my brush. So let's see, coming down. Okay, now dabbing a little bit of water off, I'm coming for even darker red around the tip. Like so. I'm paying attention to my drying of my pigment, and I notice it will start to dry lighter, so I can put in more color, more pigment. Now continue to darken As we come into this side, I added more red and starting to get a little bit of rosy color. And here I want to do something as we're building this to this highlight area. So this is really a damp brush to soften these edges. Okay. All right. And now I'm picking up some violet for this even darker area underneath the shadow. I mean the bottom, near the bottom. Okay. So I feel there's a lot of big part of a shadow. So let's see how we're going to do this. Let me take my violet, mostly ultramarine blue, some bit of violet, and let's drop it in here first. This is the tip, and this is shadow. More pigment. I'm gliding onto my paper now very softly, like feathery, because I already have color down there. If I got it too, I touch my paper too heavy, it's going to disturb the color, the shape, the color, the pigment underneath it. So, okay, yeah, I'm liking this is coming together. I'm not following the shape, the shape of the shadow directly, because I just want to simplify things. So I'm not going to paint that fold you will see on the reference photo. I'm softening the shadow. So this is kind of working, so we'll see. Now it looks like more like an apple than a pomegranate yet, but that's okay. I really like it here. Oh gosh, what I'm going to do. So I feel like to leave it. Let me leave it. And coming back with some red color and to do something here. Yeah, to define this tip better. So I have little pigment, little water on my brush, mostly pigment. And I'm defining this shape of the shadow. This very dark shadow here too. And more pigment. Whenever I notice that I'm disturbing the pigment down below, I'm just going to pick up more pigment rather than keep going. So here, more shadow here. And feather it out. Okay. All right. So let's see what else. Okay, I want to define this portion. So I'm going to have some alizarin crimson and come in here. Just start to follow the texture of the pomegranate and add more pigment. Okay, now this tip seems to be starting to be established. Let me soften this a little more. This is starting to be a hard edge again. So now at this stage, this paper is actually damp to dry. It's not watery moist anymore. So it's going to be a very tricky state. And because our brush normally is more watery than this, and when you have something more watery coming into a drier paper, you can create water backwash or cauliflower, however you call it. So I'm thinking, what should I do at this point? So let's see, maybe I can try something like this. At this time, when I was painting, I stopped talking because I realized this is something that I'd never done before. The paper stayed wet for longer, but then I kind of like at lost. I didn't know what to do with this extended moisture. It's moist, but not enough to continue to do what I would normally do, because it's also slowly drying. So I'm focusing and trying to just using very how to say, this brush I'm having in my hand now, has little water in it. It's almost no water, just barely moist, and I'm picking up pure pigment and slightly brush, just like brushing a makeup brush on your face. That's how it was. Very gently and lightly brush on the paper, because at this stage, if the motion or the pressure is a bit too much, it's going to disturb all those colors that were already laid down on the paper. So almost like doing a makeup. Yeah, I think that's a benefit or advantage for women artists. We do makeup, and there's painting, there's so much in it. It's like doing makeup. Anyhow, so I was doing very light brush stroke and picking up pure pigment and trying to strengthen my shadow and to give it more texture. And this pomegranate, the fruit, has a lot of imperfections, which gives it life. And I didn't want to paint every single speckles, so I used my lazy but wonderful technique, which is to spatter. So I spattered some lighter color and then some just darker red color, and I love the texture this is creating, truly effortlessly, and just engage the properties of watercolor. So I'm happy with the texture, although at this time I also realize my pomegranate looks more like an apple, right? And especially with all those new texture, it's very lovely, but somehow reminds me more of apple than a pomegranate. So I'm still not sure how this is going to work out, but just do what I can, which is to strengthen the light and shade, the value contrast, and see where we can get with it. And now I changed to this small brush, and it is synthetic brush, so it holds even less water because the paper continues to dry. So the other brush I was using earlier was a natural hair brush, and that keeps a lot of water. So just using my little brush, and I'm adding the final touches to strengthen. So this is what I got. I think I love many things about it, but it doesn't look a pomegranate. So I think that is because when we use this double wet in wet technique, it is so wet, and it is hard to maintain the shape without a pencil sketch. So I gave it another try, and I had a pencil sketch first and then did basically the same process. And this time I really like that it looks much more like a pomegranate. So this is my trial of this lovely, interesting new technique. What do you think? Have you done something like that before? Or if you have not, I encourage you to give it a try and just enjoy playing with watercolor. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.